What happens when one of the world's most influential entrepreneurs decides to stand up against corporate tax hikes? A story that will not only challenge everything you thought you knew about taxes, but also leave you questioning the future of innovation. It was a regular day at Tesla's headquarters in California. The sun was shining, the office was buzzing with activity, and everything seemed perfectly normal. But behind the scenes, something far more significant was brewing. Elon Musk, the CEO of Tesla, was about to make a move that would send shockwaves through the entire business world. Elon Musk had always been a forward thinker, someone who wasn't afraid to speak his mind or challenge the status quo. Over the years, he had built Tesla into one of the world's most valuable companies. His vision for the future had captivated millions, and his work was considered revolutionary in the world of electric vehicles. But despite all his successes, Elon was about to face a new battle, one that wasn't about electric cars or space exploration. This time, it was about taxes. It all started when new legislation was proposed. It was a corporate tax increase aimed at raising revenue for government programs. On the surface, it seemed like a noble cause, using tax money to support infrastructure, healthcare, and education. But for Elon, it wasn't just another policy. It was a direct threat to the future of innovation. It was a move that could slow down progress, hurt companies like Tesla, and make it harder for new ideas to flourish. At first, Elon wasn't sure how to react. He knew that many people supported these tax hikes, thinking they would lead to a better society. He knew that there was a narrative out there, painting corporations and billionaires as villains who needed to pay more. But Elon didn't fit that narrative. He wasn't a traditional billionaire. He wasn't someone who sat back and collected money while doing nothing. He was someone who put his money into creating new technologies, building new companies, and tackling some of the world's biggest problems. After some careful thought, Elon decided to make a stand. He wasn't going to sit idly by while the government threatened to increase taxes on his company. He had seen firsthand the negative effects that higher taxes could have on innovation, on the ability to create jobs, and on the future of industries like electric vehicles and clean energy. So Elon took to social media. He posted a message on Twitter, his preferred platform for communicating with the world. The tweet was direct and to the point. Corporate tax increases will harm innovation and slow progress. We need to be focusing on the future, not punishing companies that are driving it forward. The tweet quickly went viral. People from all over the world were reacting to his bold stance. Some agreed with him, calling him a visionary who was standing up for the future of business. Others criticized him, accusing him of only caring about his own bottom line and not the greater good. But Elon didn't back down. He knew that his words mattered, and he was prepared for the backlash. In the days that followed, Elon continued to speak out against the proposed tax increases. He used every opportunity to explain how higher corporate taxes could stifle innovation, slow down progress, and lead to job losses. He argued that the government should focus on creating an environment that fostered growth, not one that punished success. As the debate raged on, something surprising began to happen. People who had never before paid attention to corporate tax policies started to take notice. The media picked up on Elon's stance, and soon the conversation about tax hikes became one of the hottest topics in the country. It wasn't just about politics anymore. It was about the future of the economy and the role that companies like Tesla played in shaping it. The more Elon spoke, the more people started to realize the broader implications of the tax hikes. They began to understand that it wasn't just about a few extra dollars for the government. It was about the long-term impact on jobs, innovation, and the economy. People started asking themselves, would these taxes really help the average person, or would they just make it harder for businesses to create the jobs and technologies that could improve people's lives? Did you know? Studies show that higher corporate taxes can force companies to cut back on their research and development budgets, slowing down technological advancements. So what would that mean for a company like Tesla? Keep watching to find out. As the debate intensified, it became clear that Elon's message was resonating with the public. His words had sparked a national conversation, and even people who initially disagreed with him were starting to reconsider their position. The idea of taxing corporations more heavily was no longer a simple issue of right versus wrong. It had become a question of whether such policies would actually help or harm the future of the country. Then, a moment came that would change everything. A well-known business leader, someone with decades of experience, publicly backed Elon's stance. This leader was not just any CEO, he was the head of one of the largest tech companies in the world. His support for Elon's position sent a powerful message to the rest of the business community. If this leader believed that higher taxes would hurt innovation, maybe there was something to Elon's argument after all. Suddenly, other CEOs and business leaders started speaking out as well. They began to see the bigger picture, and many of them publicly declared their opposition to the tax increases. The movement against corporate tax hikes was growing, and it was clear that Elon Musk had become the face of that movement. The government, sensing the rising opposition and pressure from the business community, began to reconsider the proposed tax hikes. They held meetings, listened to the concerns of business leaders, and even consulted with economists to assess the potential effects of the tax increases. Slowly, it became evident that the government had underestimated the power of innovation and the role that companies like Tesla played in driving economic growth. As the months passed, the tax increases were scaled back. The government realized that punishing businesses with higher taxes might not be the best way to address the challenges the country was facing. Instead, they began to focus on policies that would foster growth, innovation, and job creation. For Elon Musk, this victory wasn't just about protecting his own company, it was about protecting the future of innovation. He had taken a stand against what he believed was a misguided policy, and he had won. But the real victory was not just in the policy change, it was in the message that Elon had sent to the world, that progress, innovation, and the future of technology mattered more than anything else. As the months passed, the tax increases were scaled back. The government realized that punishing businesses with higher taxes might not be the best way to address the challenges the country was facing. Instead, they began to focus on policies that would foster growth, innovation, and job creation. The shift in policy wasn't just a victory for Elon Musk and Tesla, it was a victory for businesses and entrepreneurs across the nation who were dedicated to innovation and progress. Elon Musk's campaign against the corporate tax hikes had ignited a wave of support from other business leaders, economists, and citizens who understood the importance of fostering an environment that encouraged innovation rather than stifling it. Across industries, companies began to rally behind Musk's stance, arguing that high corporate taxes would harm not just businesses, but the very foundations of innovation that were essential for long-term economic growth. The media coverage around the issue also began to shift. What had started as a debate about tax policy quickly transformed into a national discussion on the value of supporting businesses that create jobs, develop cutting-edge technologies, and drive the economy forward. The debate was no longer about a few extra dollars in government revenue. It was about the broader implications for future generations, technological advancements, and the global competitiveness of the country. As the government reconsidered its tax policies, Elon remained vocal in his efforts to bring attention to the broader issue. He gave interviews, wrote articles, and used his platform to continue the conversation about the importance of supporting innovation. His message was clear: if the government truly wanted to solve the nation's challenges, it needed to focus on creating an environment where businesses like Tesla could thrive and reinvest in the economy. In one particularly poignant interview, Elon spoke about the role of companies like Tesla in shaping the future. "We're not just building electric cars," he said. "We're building the future of energy, the future of transportation, and the future of sustainability. Every decision we make, every dollar we reinvest, is aimed at creating a better world for everyone." That's what we need to focus on, how we can build the future, not how we can tax it into the ground. Elon's words resonated deeply with the public. Many people had never considered how taxes could impact the development of new technologies or the ability of companies to create jobs. The message was simple. Businesses weren't just about profits. They were the engines that powered progress and innovation. And if they were burdened with higher taxes, that progress would slow down, and the country would lose out on the very technologies that could help solve some of its biggest challenges. The government, facing mounting pressure from business leaders, economists, and the public, began to shift its focus. Rather than increasing corporate taxes, the administration turned its attention to creating incentives for businesses to innovate. They introduced new policies designed to encourage research and development, provide tax breaks for companies that invested in green technologies, and streamline the regulatory processes for startups and tech companies. Elon Musk, while grateful for the changes, didn't stop there. He used his platform to advocate for further reforms that would support long-term innovation. He called for a reevaluation of how the government treated companies that were working to solve the planet's most pressing problems: climate change, energy consumption, and transportation. We need policies that reward companies for taking risks, for being bold, for making the future better, he said. Tax hikes are a quick fix, but they don't solve the bigger problems. We need to invest in the future, not tax it away. Through his efforts, Musk sparked a broader conversation about the role of government in fostering entrepreneurship and innovation. It wasn't just about protecting businesses, it was about understanding the fundamental role that companies played in shaping the future. Elon's success wasn't just about Tesla, it was about setting a precedent for how innovation could drive positive change in society. By standing up against higher corporate taxes, he had inadvertently pushed the country to reconsider how it treated its innovators and entrepreneurs. But even as the policies changed, Elon continued to be a polarizing figure. Some saw him as a hero who had fought for the future of technology, while others saw him as a billionaire who was more concerned with his company's profits than with the well-being of ordinary people. But Elon didn't back down from the criticism. He knew that his fight was about more than just taxes. It was about building a future that was sustainable, equitable, and full of opportunity. As the new policies began to take shape, it became clear that the government had listened to the concerns of business leaders and innovators. The tax rates were adjusted, and new incentives were put in place to encourage companies to reinvest in research, development, and job creation. More importantly, the national conversation had shifted. The importance of fostering innovation and creating a business environment that encouraged risk-taking had become part of the broader discourse. Tesla, for its part, saw the results of these changes almost immediately. With the new policies in place, the company was able to allocate more resources toward its groundbreaking projects. Elon Musk announced new initiatives to expand Tesla's electric vehicle lineup, develop new battery technologies, and accelerate the growth of the company's solar energy business. The tax breaks and incentives allowed Tesla to push forward with ambitious goals that would have been difficult to achieve under the previous tax structure. But the ripple effects didn't stop there. Other companies, both large and small, began to follow suit. Startups were born, and existing companies began to innovate at an accelerated pace. The country had shifted its focus from punishing corporations to rewarding them for their contributions to society. It became clear that by supporting businesses that were working to solve the world's most pressing problems, the nation could create a future that was brighter and more sustainable. In the end, Elon Musk's stand against the corporate tax increases had done more than just protect Tesla. It had set a new standard for how the government approached innovation and entrepreneurship. The success of Tesla and other companies was no longer seen as a result of tax loopholes or corporate greed. It was seen as a testament to the power of innovation and the importance of creating an environment where businesses could thrive. As the years passed, Tesla continued to lead the way in electric vehicles, clean energy, and sustainable technologies. Elon Musk's vision for the future had become a reality, and it had sparked a national movement toward a brighter, more sustainable future. The policies that once threatened to slow down progress had been replaced with those that encouraged it, and all it took was one person, willing to stand up for what he believed in, to change the course of history. Tesla's continued innovation wasn't just about electric cars anymore, it was about revolutionizing energy systems worldwide. The company's progress on solar technology and battery storage solutions transformed the energy industry, creating an interconnected future where renewable energy sources powered everything from homes to entire cities. However, none of this would have been possible without the ability to reinvest profits into the research and development that made such projects possible. So, what would happen to Tesla if corporate taxes were raised? The answer is simple. Without the ability to reinvest in research and development, Tesla's innovative projects like new electric vehicles and clean energy solutions could have been delayed or even halted. Tesla's success has always relied on the freedom to invest in groundbreaking technologies, and that's exactly what Elon Musk fought to preserve. The studies were clear. Higher corporate taxes could stifle innovation. They showed that when taxes rise, businesses often face the difficult choice of either paying the government more or cutting back on critical investments in their future. Research and development, which are essential for new technologies and products, are typically the first budget items to be slashed. In the case of Tesla, which heavily relied on innovation to stay ahead in the competitive electric vehicle and energy market, cutting back on R&D could have meant slowing down the development of next-gen electric vehicles, renewable energy solutions, or advanced battery storage technologies. But thanks to Elon Musk's battle against higher corporate taxes, Tesla didn't face that dilemma. They were able to continue pushing the envelope, pouring funds into groundbreaking technologies that ultimately benefited the global community. Whether it was their work on making electric vehicles more affordable or the acceleration of clean energy technologies, Tesla's growth was proof that innovation flourished when businesses had the freedom to invest in their future. In the end, what had once seemed like a simple issue, tax hikes, turned into a larger conversation about the future of the nation. Elon Musk's stand wasn't just about Tesla's survival. It was about protecting the future of innovation. It was about ensuring that companies who were willing to risk everything to create something better for the world would have the chance to do so. As more businesses embraced this idea, it became clear that the policies Elon had fought for had set a new direction for the entire country. And so, with tax policies that no longer hindered innovation, and with a national focus on supporting companies that were driving change, the country entered a new era, one where progress was not just encouraged, but actively supported. The shift in policy was monumental, and its impact was felt across industries, from technology to energy to healthcare. It was a victory for entrepreneurs, innovators, and those who believed in the power of business to make the world a better place. But most importantly, it was a victory for the future, a future where companies like Tesla were able to thrive, innovate, and make the world a cleaner, more sustainable place. As Elon Musk once said, "We're not just building electric cars, we're building the future." And thanks to the changes he helped bring about, that future was brighter than ever.